Hello, and welcome to the Triad RAC's WebEOC video series. In this next video, we're going to discuss the Job Action Sheets tool listed in WebEOC. These Job Action Sheets are based off of the Hospital Incident Command System Job Action Sheets and are available for all positions in WebEOC. Notice in our control panel I've logged in as the Public Information Officer, and in that you have a HICS Job Action Sheets Command PIO board. If I open up that board and maximize it so that I can see all of the information, you'll notice that we have not started a job action sheet. So we need to start a new job action sheet. Think of this as you're starting in the first operational period of an incident. Click on Start New Sheet. From here, we're going to fill out the initial information just so the sheet knows exactly what you're doing. So we're going to put in a date and a time. It automatically grabs your position and your username, but we want to put in our initials. This is where we put a signature, so you can skip over this section if it was a printed system. It asks where you're located because many times a hospital command center moves their different sections out to different areas. So we're going to say conference room 3. Telephone number, and then any of the additional contact information that you'd like. Now, the way the job action sheet is laid out is just like it is if it was a paper version of the HICS job action sheet. You've got those actions that you need to complete in the immediate operational period for 0 to 2 hours, the intermediate sections for operations of 2 to 12 hours, and then finally those things that you should be doing beyond 12 hours, and then the demobilization steps. Notice as a resource at the bottom, you also have a set of documentation tools as a reminder for those things that you should use for your position. If we scroll up here to the top, we then want to look at each of the items in the immediate operational period from 0 to 2 hours. And for each of these, we want to read through it and select our status. So read the entire job action sheet. Yep, we've done it, so we can mark it as complete. We're going to go through each of these and start making individual selections based on what we have completed so far. Now, as you do a couple of these, inevitably the phone will ring. You'll need to do some other items at the beginning of an incident. You have a save button in the top of the board. Go ahead and hit that save button so that everything that you've done up until now won't get lost. We want to go back and edit it because throughout your entire shift you'll be documenting all of the actions that you're taking based on your job action sheet. So we're going to continue to edit and we're going to continue to show a number of these things completed. Again, it depends on how your hospital implements HICS whether you'll do all these steps or not, but you have the option and you have the resource in WebEOC to make it happen. So from here, we're going to hit the save button once again, and I know that it's starting to come to the end of my shift as the Public Information Officer. So I know that I want to say, you know what, I'm done with my job action sheet. Somebody else is going to come in and take my role here shortly. So we want to publish a copy of that job action sheet so that it is documented long-term what you got completed during your shift. We're going to click on the Publish button. We're then going to put a check mark because it's at the end of our shift. And we're going to look and make sure that everything is right. Well, I completed that, so let's move it to completed. Scroll back up to the top. We make sure that there's a check mark in there because it's the end of our shift, and we're going to hit the save button. From here now, it has been moved, a copy of it has been moved over into the completed sheets. So you can come in and take a look at what your job action sheet looks like with all of your initials next to each one of those things that you have completed. Notice the things that were not completed don't have a time and don't have initials set to them. For the next shift, I want to continue with the job action sheet that the previous Public Information Officer has completed. I don't need to do everything again that has already been completed. So again, I'm just going to hit the Edit button. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to look at these items and go, oh, yep, nope, we finished these things. I finished these when I first started, so we're going to go ahead and move these as to complete. And we're then going to start moving into the next operational period, 2 to 12 hours. Yeah, we've finished some of these. And you'll notice you'll start making these comments and you'll start adding things in as you're sure that they're completed. If you are coming in as the second shift person, make sure that this information is updated with the information. So we're changing the date. It's now going to be 1/2/12. The start time is still going to be 800 to 1700. Still in conference room 3. New name, new initials. Again, we've made a bunch of changes. We continue to hit the save button. As you go throughout your shift, continue to use the edit button to make updates to that job action sheet and publish that job action sheet at the end of your shift. A special note for supervisors in the HICS system. Public Information Officer because they don't supervise any other users, only has access to the Public Information Officer job action sheet. However, if we move over into the Operations Section Chief control panel, they have a menu built towards the bottom of their control panel for job action sheets. Notice it's called Operations Job Action Sheets submenu. As this menu opens, they then have access to all of the job action sheets that are listed in the HICS system that fall under the Operations section. Not only can they go in and fill those job action sheets out on their own, but they are able to view the status of where they happen to be throughout the process. So if you already have someone else working on the Business Continuity Branch Director job action sheet, the Operations Section Chief would be able to click on that job action sheet to be able to see the status of where they are at any given point in time. All of the general staff positions have access to all of their job action sheets in their section, and the incident commander has access to view job action sheets throughout the entire organization. That concludes this video on how to use the job action sheets in WebEOC. We look forward to you viewing other videos on how to use other aspects of the Triad RAC's WebEOC system. Thank you.